Welcome back, everybody. In this video, we'll be testing a handful of 3D printed BCARs. We'll be testing them to see how accurate they are and do they stand up to metal versions out there. And do you really need a metal one? Anyways, the tools we'll be using today for testing will be my trusted Cynthia AWP. It's been tuned to hit around 250 feet per second. The darts we'll be using will be brand new blues out of the box. We'll be shooting at a distance of 100 feet approximately. All the BCARs here were printed on a bamboo H2D using bamboo PETG filament. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it took a little longer than I expected to, but there was a lot of feature creep I myself added to this, but I hope it becomes very informative for you guys when you guys make a decision on which one to get. That being said, on to the video. Everybody, it's Atlas Unit 22 here today again. We're back for BCAR testing, and right now we'll be testing the Ashton Roger's BCAR. It's a 3x3. It's been up there for a while, and it's a community print, and this one is also inspired by the Akasha because he added vented porting to this. So we'll give this a try right now. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna try something new and do voiceover on my video here, so you don't have to watch me shoot at the target for like a minute and a half and just watch that. So if you see what I'm doing here, I'm consistently putting my mark on or my crosshairs on the X on the target, and I will always only aim at that target there. And what you guys should be paying attention to is the grouping that it creates and not how off from center the hits are, because I think the grouping is more important because you can always adjust that. Anyways, that being said, the designer here, Ashton Roger, had created this design a while back already, and only recently they decided to add porting. All right, and as you can see here, the porting for sure has made this a better BCAR, and at only $10. This is a great budget build if you need a BCAR. Good job, Ashton. All right, test 2. We are now on to the... What the fuck? Oh, hi guys. On the next test here, we're doing the Nerf Super BCAR by WD-40 on printables. Here we go, 10 shots coming up. Now, I decided to test this BCAR because the designer listed it as a Super BCAR on the printables page. What I didn't realize until now, it was actually meant for a lower FPS settings, like 150 feet per second. The results here show, yes, it's not meant to be used at 250 feet per second, nor at 100 feet distance, all right? But I will probably retest this one in the future video for lower FPS. Well, let's try and get it a little bit better. I think that hit square on. Empty. In this round, we're testing the T5 Mini. There we go. So this BCAR is the same teenage designer that reverse engineered an exclusive BCAR just from pictures. If you know, you know. Anyways, so this one is on the shorter side of the BCARs we'll be testing today, and I think it seemed to do pretty good, but not as good as the longer ones. If you take away the 2 stray impact marks, it did pretty good. You can get the files for $15, however, and the link to his store will be below. Empty.
In this test, we're testing out the Out of Darts Shearforce BCAR. This is their 6x3, and I think the crusher was 12.6, I think, or something along that lines. So I picked that specific one to match with the bigger boys it's going to be competing against with here. Yeah, here we go, 10 shots. All right, Out of Darts Shearforce, test 2, here we go.
For some reason, when we shot this segment, there were follies, bloopers, and simple mistakes made. If you watch until then, you'll see a blooper reel at the end of this video. Anyways, I was a little disappointed in this one, and I had high hopes for it. But perhaps I didn't pick a correct version for my specific setup. With like 60 different variants, which one do you choose, right? I'd like to retest this one in the future with input from the designer Perry or anyone from the Out of Darts team if they are willing to give me one or specify one that will work for my setup here.
Empty, all 10.
All right, here we go. This is the Chance Super BCAR. There's no link for this file anywhere yet, but I was just able to pick it up from Discord to test it for him. And here we go, 10 shots.
To be a little more specific, this is available on the BCAR Discord BCAR research channel if you really want to get this one rather sooner than later. At first I was skeptical on this one. I didn't like the barrel friction fit, but it seemed to hold up fine during testing. Grouping wise, I think it did well, and you know, it probably put some metal BCARs to shame for the price point.
Oh, square. That's not good.
Raining darts too.
Yeah. I think that was the last one. Empty, all 10.
All right, everybody, we are now testing MisplacedMoose BCAR. This, you guys probably know him for the big 50 cal size Moose-1. This is his personal design. Yeah, we're gonna test it right now. Here we go.
What can I say about MisplacedMoose? He's a great guy. We've been collaborating on B variant parts more or less since 2022. And if you ask him how he got into the hobby, he'll talk about some guy with a pink B variant in Canada. Anyways, the Moose Bite here performs really well with its unique double contact per bearing system there. Take away the one stray and you have a really solid BCAR at 100 feet. And again, this BCAR probably would outclass a lot of the metal BCARs out there. If you really want it, I'll link to his printables below and also his store if you want to buy one directly from him.
Empty, all 10.
So far, it's really nice. I like how light it is, so you can go like CQC.
Yep.
Compared to big shot, long shot. maybe 2 inches shorter.
Yep. Yep. And we put a shorter BCAR in there, I'm sure it'd be a lot shorter still.
Yeah.
Right? How's it feel? How's
The
the...
body's very solid.
Yep.
You can hear the squeaking in this one. Plus they fixed that with the newer parts. Not as squeaky. This one feels a lot more solid. Yeah, the magazine port there is real good. Yeah.
Good.
I don't know what.
All right, here we go. Now we're on to the T5 mini but long BCAR this time. It's his latest iteration for the thing, but honestly, I like the other one better, the mini. Here we go, 10 shots.
So this iteration of the T5 seems to be better than the mini version. The results here show a grooming similar to that of more expensive metal BCARs that I've tested in previous videos. The file for this one isn't quite available yet, but I heard if there's enough demand, he will release this in his store soon.
Let's get a new truck. Is that Douglas? Only Douglas would buy a truck, right? George would? Nope, not Douglas. Empty, all 10. All right, guys. So in the world of super BCARs, we have a new challenger. We have the Umoya by Wafel. I think it's pronounced Wafel. It's just spelled differently. Yeah, Wafel. Here we go. This is his original version. When it first released. This is the what's the? Well, you'll see.
Can you tell that I was excited to test this one when it popped up on Reddit? The build for this is around $16 Canadian. The design is heavily inspired Zafsi's Idiom, the Acacia, and you know, the T5 as well. Did you know Umoya means wind or air? Clever naming convention there. Anyways, I say the grooming was good, right? Close to, if not on par with metal BCARs with this one. But wait for the next part, no, our next segment.
Empty, all 10. All right, so this is part 2 of the Umoya test. Well, I forgot to mention in the previous testing that unlike all the conventional BCARs, this rotates in the opposite direction. I don't know if it's a design choice or maybe because he's from Australia. Insert upside down jokes here. Anyways, here we go. So this version has, this one requires shims versus built-in shims, all right? This is very much like how the Acacia does it, how the T5 does it. So for this one, it'll cost a little bit more to build this one because you're going to need 0.3 millimeter height shims by, I believe it's 5 millimeter outer diameter and 3 millimeter inner diameter. Other than that, it's like the additional cost is very fractional. You're looking at maybe $2 Canadian for a pack of 50 shims, and you only need half of them. But anyways, that being said, let's get testing. 10 shots, Umoya version 2.
Now, to elaborate a little bit more than shim, if not most, but all 3D printed B cars have a built-in or printed in shim to allow the bearing for clearance to free spin. The problem with that is the printed shims can deform during installation, or they just don't print correctly. Like I said before, units like the T5 and others use a tiny metal shim to help with clearance. I approached Waffle about removing the printed shims in his model, and I told him I would test it with metal shims instead. Well, you can see in the video here, the grouping actually has packed tighter and less spread, but more closer together, right? I think it would have shot a little bit better if I paid attention to the windage. And you know, I think it did pretty good.
Empty, all 10. Right, so we're testing the T5, new T5 prototype that has a higher crush on the BCAR section, I believe, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. 10 shots.
Oh, almost right on the money there.
Now, this one is just here strictly just for research. The BCAR section has a tighter tolerance, and yeah, just strictly for research, but you can see what kind of grouping this one does.
Ooh, wind's picking up. And here we go.
Empty, all 10. All right, now we're testing the underdog of the competition, and I have high rates for this one, or high hopes. This is the Prime Tower BCAR. Yeah, I can't say much about this one because it's a very silent, quiet prototype. Can't talk too much, but we'll do 10 tests. Here we go. 10 shots. Probably would help if it had a full mag. I have no cards. All right, here we go. 10 shots with Prime Tower BCAR. Or Prime Tower.
Well, I would like to thank you all for watching this video. If you made it this far, subscribe if you like, and like if you can. And who knew a Prime Tower would make a great BCAR? It's up there rivaling metal BCARs for a fraction of the price, you know. We're talking about like throwaway prints, right? You know. Should we start scavenging 3D print scrap bins for these things? Maybe. Or maybe not. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this little, what was it, prank? Troll? Whatever. Anyways, stay tuned for the outtake.
Oh, that's good.
Ice bucket challenge.
Where's the ice bucket? It's just water.
So, conclusion. First, let's give our designers a round of applause. To design something and let it out in the world takes a lot of skill, knowledge, and courage to stand up to public scrutiny. from reviewers like me and viewers like you. And please remember, I do this for fun to satisfy my curiosities and others. I'm not sponsored by any company, and I don't get special discounts, trips, and etc. All the hardwares and prints I self-source from non-Nerf related industries, which is why I can build 9 BCARs. That being said, maybe I should start a GoFundMe for this channel or something. Too early, right? Right? Nah. To the results. Can't really say they all did good, as some BCARs were picked for the wrong parameters. One that really did surprise me was Ashton Roger's BCAR. I didn't think that just adding ports would assist tremendously with accuracy at 100 feet. Besides this one, the Moose Bite, the T5 Mini Butt Long, and the Umoya number 2 shined through and did really well. Which one surprised you, or didn't? Remember, this is at 100 feet. How often do you need to shoot at 100 feet plus at your typical Nerf game? At that distance, your target would have already moved by the time you let the dart fly, unless your target is oblivious. That being said, most Nerf games happen at a shorter distance, even more so when you're doing CQB, right? That being said, I'll be testing these BCARs and some commercially available ones at a closer range. Not exactly sure how much shorter, but I will be using my S400 Zebra for that testing. Is there a specific BCAR you want me to test? Printed or metal? Let me know below. Be on the lookout for that video in the future. And now for the outtakes.
Oh, hey. So in this test, we're testing out the Out of Darts Shearforce BCAR. This is their 6x3, and I think the crusher was 12.6, I think, or something along that lines. So I picked that specific one to match with the bigger boys it's going to be competing against with here. Yeah, here we go, 10 shots.
What happened? I had a mag. Take 2. Now we have a mag. What? Oh, we jammed already. Just leave this all in. I'll cut it out after. All right, we got 5, 5. That makes it 10. All right, now we got a mag. What? Oh. There we go. Now we have a mag. Did that come out?
Nope.
Oh,
Mag
the
fell
mag
down.
Oh, someone installed it backwards. Okay, this one's installed back. We'll fix it later. Oh, grab that one. Oh, that's good.
Ice bucket challenge.
Where's the
The
ice?
ice bucket. It's just water.